had the pleasure of showing you my Armadillo army, plus the new wolf armor that was added to the game. But in the latest beta and preview, there was even more incredible features added, and one of them is to do with shaders. Quick update regarding the Armadillo. Japper, who is the head pixel artist over at Mojang, tweeted this. He said, the eyes of the Armadillo are in the front because when they are on the side, you are looking at an empty forehead. It's difficult to create a connection with it, considering this is a mob which you'll interact with possibly quite often. I felt like this was important. He then said, a little bit further down, before giving your feedback, make sure you play with the feature for a while. Looking at images or videos or new things is not the same as experiencing and interacting with it. He then also said, its head peeks out when it's balled up because we thought it would be funny or cute. But apparently, people prefer realism. If it's a real animal, of course we prefer realism. Now, a little bit further down here, you can see the perfect example from Cubfan. Like, honestly, which one do you guys prefer? This just looks a mess on the left. On the right, it just seems to make things work so much better. Anyway, here is a meme that I created, because when the Armadillo is curled up in a ball, it looks like a golem from Pokemon. To be fair, he's got a point. What about the sniffer? You are just looking at a nose from the front. Are you going to change that? Moving on, one of the shaders fixes was the player's body will now cast a shadow in the first person mode in the deferred technical preview. But note that some held items will still not cast shadows. Now, I'm using Poggy's Illuminos Dreams, where we do have the fog setting quite high, by the way. But as you can see, the first person perspective is now showcasing me with a cape. You can see the cape. We can also see, like, I'm punching. It's a little bit easier in this one. You can see it right there. We're punching. I'm trying not to destroy too much of this world. However, there is quite a few things that are kind of broken, because if we're doing this, you can see I'm clearly holding an axe, but it doesn't display an axe. I'm curious, if I was to put this on my head, does it display on my head? Oh, it actually does. Oh, you can see the size difference. That's actually really, really cool. But most things won't appear and they're not going to be visible, like the likes of your bow. And I mean, that actually works, actually. When it's like risen. What about in first person? Yeah, you can definitely see that one's working so much better. Holding a door does not seem to work. Holding a bow, this one does seem to work. I like this one. So prior to this, Poggy had to create a separate pack in order for this stuff to be visible. The trident actually works as well. That's pretty nice. And your sword, ironically enough, the sword does not work. You can see it's trying to punch, like, my hands. Trying to think of a whole bunch of items that might well be visible versus might not be visible. The likes of the anvil, the brewing stand, they don't seem to be visible. A bed doesn't. Aha. That looks a little bit... That looks a little bit sussy. I'm not gonna lie. It looks a little bit sussy there. Hold on one second. Okay, anyway, what's it like when you're using the spyglass? Oh, it's kind of bugged out. Oh, wow. Actually slightly bugged out with this. I actually really like it. In shaders, the spyglass actually works really, really well. Apart from in this situation. Totem. What about an offhand? I'm curious if offhand items work. I mean, not really. The goat horn. What about this one? I don't think I see too much of a difference. The sniffer egg, not too much of a difference. Bamboo. Yeah, so again, most items aren't going to work. There is a few items that will. The main reason I want your attention today is the developers are working incredibly hard on a brand new interface, and it looks really impressive. It is currently visible as of the beta version 1.20.60.23. Now on the home page, this is the first one you're going to see. You're going to see this bell icon. Now, if you tap on this, we are going to have news, which again shows you the latest news. And let's say you've had enough of this news. Let's say you've read all the details, although the information they put in here generally isn't that great, by the way. That's the whole point of me making these beta videos. It's only a little bit of detail, but we know about this one, so you can actually get rid of this. Once it's gone forever. This is also going to be a place where you can see realms invites and also more information regarding realms. Now, these user interface changes, just like the notifications which I just showed you, can actually be noticed throughout the Minecraft preview. Now, normally I'm using a pack that gets rid of all the text at the top and just gives you an ordinary background. I thought that was the reason why I'm crashing. It's not. So the next iteration of this is if you click on play preview and you click on switch to the new UI, this will pop up and basically it gives you all worlds, realms, and servers. Now, unfortunately, this is very buggy. And at this point, I have to restart Minecraft. So, unfortunately, in this case, I can't show you this UI. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because this, I'm going to crash myself again, is actually going to be what you are going to see in Minecraft going forward. Yes, we do currently have an alternative design, but that is going to be gone in 2024. Besides that, one of the really big changes introduced in the latest beta and preview is to do with individual worlds. Now, if I click edit, this is something you guys have been familiar with for a very, very long time. You're probably used to it and you probably hate change. I agree. I'm somewhat the same. But trust me, this new design that they have introduced is really impressive. It's really simple, and I think over time you will prefer it. So if we tap on try new design, we can go to new design. Again, you don't have to stay with this one. You can go back to the older one as well. So prior to this, we did have the new create new world screen. So if I was going to create new worlds, again, you guys have been familiar with this, right? But whenever you went to the edit option, it was always the older design. They finally figured out a design that they like, and I love this so much. So one of the biggest changes that they've done is down below. You've got, of course, the file management. You can duplicate the world, and you can also delete the world, and on specific devices, you can export it as well. But right at the bottom, it says the size of your world, the last time you played it. Prior to this, to find the world size of your specific world, you'd have to go back to the main screen where it would say how big or how small a specific world was. Now, I just want to do a small comparison here because the details here are very few and far between, which are actually so much more simple compared to, say, this. This is what we were dealing with previously. There was just so much information going on. Now, this one has play, realm, play, multiplayer, resource pack, and behaviors pack. This is in the latest full release of Minecraft Bedrock Edition. And this one here just has very limited details. You don't got to scroll down too much. If you wanted to customize more options, you go into the advanced section, which, by the way, being able to copy your seed is so useful. All we need now is the /seed command when you're in game. And it's just so much more simplified, so much more slicker. And I don't think the developers are actually getting enough credit for this. And I like it. So first off, I would love to know your opinions about this in the comment section below. Do you like the newer design? Do you like the older design? Now, one thing I will say here is you do have general, advanced, multiplayer, cheats, resource pack, behaviors, and experiments, versus this one being game, multiplayer, resource pack, and behaviors. Basically, a lot of this information on the right-hand side has now been categorized to make it so you're not constantly scrolling down. Like, I think you've all scrolled down like a million times, and it just gets a little bit too much. And I think this is a good enough design for both, for all platforms, whether you are playing on a PC like I am, whether you're playing on a console such as Xbox, Switch, or PlayStation, or whether you're playing on a mobile device. So I think the developers have done a really good job on this. As always, they are still looking for feedback on this. So if there's something that you don't like or something that they could slightly tweak, make sure you head over to the changelog and leave a comment. But the only comment we have right now is, I like it. Now, besides that, if you click to play and you go to friends, obviously I showed you the notification. This will take you directly to realm invites. But if you have a pre-existing realm, so I have one with my friend Rob, it says, do you want to join realms stories? Yes, they are adding stories to realms, which does feel weird, but you don't actually have to apply to it. It says learn more about it. So click share stories with friends. This image right here is a little bit squashed, but it just says post your own stories to your feed, let others know what you're up to, and share your adventures and creations, which I think is pretty cool. get to know the members on your realms, and also see player history with timelines. So you can actually see timelines of when people were on and when they were posting, which could be a great way to find out the perfect time to play. Now with this, you can opt in or maybe later. Now, unfortunately, I don't own a realm and he hasn't updated this one, but don't worry, I can show you what it looks like. So shout out to Corner Hard, who does work on the Minecraft Realms team. This is the image that he posted, so it'll look like story feed, so you can see who's actually posted a story. And this person posted this down here a couple of weeks ago. You can like specific things, so if somebody builds something, you can go ahead and like it. Next, we have like the personal settings. So inside of here, these are the settings that only apply to you for this realm. So you've got story notifications, which can be turned on or off. You have realm events, allow Minecraft to post stories for gameplay accomplishments, on or off, realm event coordinates, timeline, and again, if you don't like this feature, you are able to opt out. The next one we have, and this is what I really like. So there's a whole bunch of players, let's say in your realm. Let's say Corner Hard was active on Friday. They can post something that they created on Friday. And these lines here will actually be indicated right here. And here is an even better example. Shout out to Smoky Stacks. He posted this so you can see what's going on. I actually thought someone was creating a music beat. But yeah, they'll show you the times players were on, so we can see 3 players were playing on Monday, 2 were only playing on Tuesday necessarily, couple on Wednesday, but then when it got to Friday, Saturday, people were really active, which is kind of what I expected, but it looks so impressive. The final really big change I wanted to focus on in today's video is to do with the marketplace. I know it's a love-hate situation with this. Most people don't like this because everything's locked to a specific world. Now, over the past couple of weeks, I've been sharing with you that they are working on making it possible to place specific contents in as many different worlds as you wanted. They've updated it. If you scroll down now, there is a new category called Dynamic Worlds. Works with random seeds. Now, I showed you the crafty custom hearts by log.zip. So if we show you this, you'll see here, these use random start seeds for any new world. Now, right now, there is only currently 4 of them, 4 or 5 different options. I haven't seen this one before. So this is the random loot drops. And it says here, can be played in any kind of seed. And everything's randomized. So if you wanted to have a seed or use a specific world where things like such as breaking dirt blocks gave you god apples, for example, you could actually do that. Now, this is definitely a step in the right direction. It's still very early doors with this, but the dynamic worlds are here. So yeah, I think Bedrock Edition is doing really well, and the team have done a great job with this. Let me know your opinions in the comments.